here we have the LHC. That's the biggest accelerator. So that's 27 kilometers all underground. And then you have, well, actually starting from the point of these protons. So then F2 is where we produce the protons. So we have a hydrogen bottle there, hydrogen gas. We put them into a certain process, and that would produce the protons, which goes to an accelerator called the booster. So they go around, and then to PS, SPS, and finally to CMS. So they step it up every time it goes through this one of these circles, these accelerators. You actually get a boost in energy. Just before they go into the LHC, we have an energy that's almost equal to 450 gig electron volts. That's what we have here. And then when it goes to the LHC, in around 30 minutes or so, it can reach up to 4 tera electron volts. So it's a major energy jump from here to there. And now we have, well, the LHC is turned off, so everything's shut down. And that's why we're doing all this renovation work, because there isn't actually any work done in the control room. Everything's turned off, no beams, no experiments, nothing. So we are now upgrading it to make sure that we can go to the maximum design energy, which is around 7 TeV, 7 tera.
How much is this in front of the speed of light?
It's always. So from here, there, 450 GeV, 470 GeV, it's almost at the speed of light. It's always 0.99 at the speed of light. We don't talk about that because the change in speed is very, very small, so that you don't actually see it. All these machines don't care about that, especially when we have things like out of cavities. These are the accelerators. Usually, when you have a particle that keeps on changing speed, you have to always kind of synchronize your equipment with the speed change. So every time you have to respond faster because it's just going through it faster. But here, because it's always almost at the speed of light, you don't really care about that. It's always 0.99 at the speed of light. Because we're hitting this plateau where it's getting closer, but never at or crossing the speed of light. Because this is, we said that before, either it's Einstein theory of relativity, which shows us that nothing could go faster than the speed of light if it has mass, or the fact that the Higgs field is always impeding the movement of these particles. As fast as they go, they get more and more kind of resistance. Okay?
But that energy is still related to their speed, isn't it?
No.
Mass.
No.
No. It's because they gain mass in a way.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, because you just imagine it again.
Okay.
Higgs
Then I got the wrong idea. Okay.
But it's the same thing with the Higgs field. It's like water. If you go swimming and you get faster, and you come faster and faster, you always kind of, you get more resistance. Also, if you're on a bike and you're really quick, at some point, the air resistance, no matter how much you try to cycle, you can never get faster than a certain speed.
Right.
Because resistance, you get this terminal velocity.
Mm-hmm.
So the additional energy gets transformed into mass.
Anyway,
Because the
it
speed,
just gets heavier. That's what limits it from going faster than the speed of light.
because speed is already limited.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, you can think of it this way. You can think of it of how it interacts with Higgs field. That's where you would like to unite everything, just unify these different theories. Because you can think of it as Higgs field, you can think of it as EMC squared, and it's hard to have them both at the same time. How would you relate them? That's the big challenge.
Unifying with a
all these
proton,
theories.
is that right?
Yes.
So the difference is between the rest energy of the proton, which we know is like 1, or rest mass, to
Right.
this mass that is associated with its movement, with its motion. Is that right? Or am I still?
I don't
How does a
quite
protein
understand
gain mass?
How does the proton gain
Proton
mass?
gain mass. I thought it was a fixed thing.
It's
I'm missing it all.
It's done. You need also think of relative mass to that. I can't really go into that. I'm not a physicist, so I don't exactly understand these things. Exactly how that goes around, how it works, don't really know. Unfortunately,
Nobody knows.
no, probably that. Yeah, that's the same thing.
Okay, but that's what you're saying, that the energy is equivalent to the mass through E equals mc squared.
Yeah.
How much time does it take to go from the lowest level to the
All the way, from the to the. It all depends. It's very valuable because you have to do many tests before it goes to it. But what I know, because of what I monitor all the time, is the LHC. From the time you inject it to the time you get something ready for collision, that takes around 30 minutes. So from here to there, it's very valuable. Always changes. You don't
Depending
have
on how many rounds they make.
Well, here they make 11,000 times, 11,000 turns in 1 second for this one. Because you're always at the speed of light. So how many turns? It's a large number that you really don't really had the time to calculate and monitor. It's very,
Trying
very
to get a sense of magnitude. Are we talking seconds, hours, days?
Oh no, we're talking about hours.
Hours.
Hours. So from the time from here to there, maybe 2 hours, 3 hours. Nothing.
So how should one imagine that? Like one control panel is observing one circle, and at some point handing it over to the next one, saying we checked it out. So now we
That's
go
what
on.
I was going to just say just now. Is that we now have introduced all these different rings for you. When we had the 4 corners, every corner controls one thing. So they have one corner controlling PS, booster, and SPS. Okay, sorry, PS and booster. Another corner controlling SPS. Another corner controlling LC. One corner controlling everything that you see here in terms of cooling, powering, and so on. So whenever you have a beam inside this, so you don't actually, kind of hand over the work to somebody else. It's always working, whether you have a beam or not. You always have to monitor it. But that's also why they have this kind of table in the middle, because they all connect together, so they have to sit in the middle of the table if they want to discuss anything. But in terms of injection, then once it's ready, because you have all these screens, so the guys for the LHC, they're monitoring SPS at the same time. Once they see that the SPS is actually at highest energy, then they make their LHC ready for injection. These other guys see it's ready for injection, so they dump it into the LHC, and the LHC will take it over. But it's mostly automated.
But practically speaking, what is being transferred? I mean, how is this transferred happening, and what is it? And you're saying dumping, but concretely, like, what is it? Do you take something physically, or?
No, it's okay. So they're all connected together. So you see these things here, these lines. You got one here and one there, and one over there. It's getting quite here. So these are, you have pipes. Inside these pipes, you have these protons. Whenever you want to, you have a proton going in a loop, in a ring. Whenever you want to send it elsewhere, you have something called kicker magnet. So the magnet that just kicks out these protons to something else, and now they are in a different path into this here. So you take the path into these different accelerators. So that's how you can do it. Control with magnets.
It's like
You don't actually
like tracks of a train system.
Yes, in a way, yeah. But it's an invisible track. Right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But can you visualize on your monitor that it has been transferred to another one, or?
No, you can't see it. You have sensors, so you can see what's inside the beam, because we need to monitor. You don't have one proton. The beam of protons contains 3,000 bunches of protons. Every bunch contains 120 billion protons. So you need to know. You can see them. You see how big it is. When they spread apart, that's bad thing. So you need to squeeze them. So you monitor all these things. We have things called beam monitors. They're made or designed just to make sure that these are inside. We know the energy. We know where they are in the middle. Not if they're bad or not. If they're bad, it's just the quality of these beams. This is really cool. When you dump it, you say it's an unstable beam, and you dump the beam in order to get a new one in. And that happens quite often.
What means dumping?
Dumping means that
Switch off the energy.
no, not really. What you have is that you have a place around the LHC where you dump it, meaning that you also change the trajectory, you change its path into another pipe, and that pipe will end up with a big, thick wall. So you dump everything on the wall with absorbent. Yeah. And really big, thick lead wall which will absorb everything and then go over again. And in order to actually minimize because if you just hit it, even for a lead wall, if you hit it in one point, that would damage the wall. Exactly. So you make it like a circle just to make sure that you don't do that much damage to the wall itself.
Do you know what the treatment has different temperatures?
That's really hard. I know for it's like that. We get our energy from EDF fans, so because they have nuclear power. They give you an idea that we use a lot. That's the first thing. But what I can tell you is that these things, every single dipole that we have, dipole is a steering magnet, the magnet which takes care of just bending these things, use around 12,000 amperes to produce one just magnet field to bend it. That's one. We have 1,200 of them. That's why we need superconducting magnets or superconducting wires to carry that large sum of current. It's superconducting, so the voltage is zero almost. Because superconducting has no resistance, so you don't have actually voltage. But in terms of, I think I keep on forgetting that how many megajoules each one actually stores. Yeah, I can't really tell you because I know it better than once, but
It's like a small city, basically.
yeah. Well, that's why we don't get it from Geneva because or Switzerland. We have a backup there, but turn it off, turn on to that side, then you even have to go to bed early.
So
that day.
when at home, when you see the lights doing something like this, then you guys are
That-
working.
Maybe. No, but it's obviously stable. It's very controlled. And now everything's turned up, so it's fine. And we'll come back in 2015. So we are actually, so we designed the LHC to have 7 TeV of design collision energy, but due to some reasons, we weren't able to go to that maximum energy. So now we're fixing it. We know that every magnet superconducting we tested, what we don't test is the connection in between, because you can only test it when it's actually underground. So what we found out that these connections are very weak, which acts, so everything's superconducting, so very, very good, will have zero resistance, but these connections are not superconducting, which means we can't actually put 12,000 amperes to go to maximum. So now they're fixing it, and hopefully in 2 years' time, we'll have everything ready to go to maximum energy.
So where are we here? Which one on the map? Where are we?
We will be somewhere around here.
Right now,
the sun.
like at the moment here.
This place here, it's not on the LHC, it's somewhere here in Pakistan, in the middle. But what you're doing next is that you're going to CMM. So you're traveling all the way there.
So the experiments that first made the Higgs boson, what energy was that?
Well, you scan it, but what exactly, I don't
What was the
exactly
peak?
remember that.
What was the
Peak,
peak?
I think it's around 2 telecom, but I can't remember. Because I don't work actually with analysis, so I don't know how that happened. In particular, what I work with is that I work with the Atlas upgrade. So I don't even work with the current Atlas detector. We're building a new one, which we installed in 2022. So we have a total different detector now being built. So that's what I'm involved with, designing the inner track, the inner kind of part of the detector, Shakespeare from these stripes that you see. So it draws it and also decides whether that collision is interesting or not. Because we do 40 million collisions a second. That's 1 petabyte per second, 1 million gigabytes per second. And we have to make sure what to keep and what to throw away. And that's usually decided in a few nanoseconds. So we decide whether to keep it or throw it away once we see it. So we apply some physics quickly to know if it's
Based on what?
The first thing we look at is finding a muon. If a muon comes out of this collision, then that's a good indication that the collision is interesting. And so that takes it from 40 million to 100,000. There are other things we look into later on, more complicated stuff, which will take it eventually to only 100 events per second. Some 40 million, only 100 actually kept and believed to be interesting. Okay, we actually have to go down, I think, now because we need to